Yo guys, welcome to another episode of AniMates. Obviously the only one place you should be if you want to listen to your anime weekly intakes, your social debates, your discussions. This is where you should be. Obviously, you already know who I am. It's your boy Kevin.
Big Mercs.
So yeah, man, unfortunately this week TJ is not with us. So obviously it is where it is, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Gotta keep giving you the content,
Gotta keep
man.
going, man. Obviously, you already know what it is. We're the AniMates. So this week we're joined by one of my guys. We go way back since probably like 8 years now.
It's been a minute.
It's been a couple years.
Bit longer than that.
Yeah, man. We go way back. So obviously, he's another anime head. So
not
yeah,
as much
man.
as you guys though. You guys are lit.
No, but
I feel like you're a bigger anime head, you know.
I feel like you are.
Do you know why? You got them key rings and that, bro.
Word. You know when someone actually purchases merchandise, bro. You know they're
That's
an
real
anime head,
commitment, bro.
It was a simple order on Amazon. Like you don't see me going to Comic Con. You know what? I will go to Anime Comic Con this year.
Yeah, is
Nah,
that Anime Comic Con? I know the Comic Con, innit? But I thought anime heads just generally go Comic Con. Or is there like a specific?
And there's no excuse. It's an XL.
Yeah, it's
Word,
local.
local.
to
For
us as
me,
well.
it's like
Yeah, it's local,
I could
it's
drive
local.
there like 20 minutes, not even that.
Why would you
Yeah,
say you're
man.
not as big of an anime head as us?
I'll say that because I only watch or read manga and anime maybe up to 3.
Oh, word. I feel you.
Probably.
Cool. But yeah, like, at the same time, like obviously we're talking, but I ain't actually said your name. So obviously,
It's bad.
My bad.
So obviously, my boy Zach. So yeah, man, if you want to tell the listeners just a little bit about yourself in terms of, like, basically, how'd you get into anime?
Well, I remember one time I went to my cousin's house in Northwest London. We were just chilling. We were young. We were probably when we were 14, 15. And then he just got me to his computer. He showed me a Naruto episode. And we were watching it. And I just saw this like knife being thrown. Obviously it was shuriken.
Yeah.
And it was in Japanese. No subtitles. It was nothing. So but then afterwards I went home to my brother that he was not on it. Then we both got hooked into it. So we
Word.
both started watching it together.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
And then me and brother formed a relationship that way.
When you saw that episode, yeah, obviously with the knowledge you have now,
Yeah.
looking back, do you remember who threw the kunai? Do you remember what scene? Do you remember what was happening?
Yeah, it was Sasuke threw it. It was when it was in the Mist Village when they were
Escorting that guy,
Yeah, they
innit?
were escorting someone. They're escorting that guy
Yeah.
who
Oh,
lied.
the bridge builder to build the bridge.
Yeah, and then the
Tsunami
mission
bridge.
suddenly became an S class, S class,
yeah.
S rank mission. Sorry, it was peak. Yeah, but my favorite anime, I'll say, it's gonna be Naruto, but I do really enjoy Hitman Reborn. Like you two don't watch.
Bro,
it.
tell us about
Bro,
that.
a gun to your head. Someone asks you, what's your favorite anime? Which one you choosing?
It's gonna be Naruto, of course.
Okay,
Whoa,
cool.
like,
Explaining it, like why?
I'm not saying that too tough, innit?
I'll say this. I'll say the journey between Naruto when he was young and now, you could see that journey, and there's character development everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I love that.
And like how, but do you remember when we also Obito die in
Yeah.
Shopperton? Spoiler alert, so you're a bit late. Who cares a damn?
Word. If you're not up to date, that's your own problem.
That's your own problem. So Obito dies, and then it was like, oh, he died. Like no, obviously the masked man.
Yeah.
When the masked man came about, we thought, okay, that must be Obito.
Yeah,
It's just like the way we saw Minato. We thought that was Naruto's dad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it never came about. So
Yeah,
there was no evidence until
Yeah,
Minato got
yeah.
actually when Naruto was gonna unleash
Yeah,
the nine-tailed fully,
Yeah,
and then Minato said, "Yo, I'm your dad." Blah blah blah.
yeah,
The development's just mad. Yeah, it's
People
fun.
can learn a lot from that, you know. Like all you Donnies out there that got youths and that, like
And it's
just come
hidden.
into your youth's life. Listen, I'm your dad. Why not? Like, teleport out. You get me? It's all good.
Man, obviously, yeah. So you said Naruto's your favorite one, and you
Yeah.
also mentioned Hitman Reborn. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk a little bit like, so why was Hitman such a crucial
okay.
anime for you?
Cool. Okay, so Hitman, One Piece, and Naruto, all of them have a concept behind them. Naruto is shinobi, samurai, ninja. One Piece is captain, pirates, navy, revolutionaries. Hitman Reborn is mafia, organization, hitman jobs,
Yeah, I feel you.
and they're all like
Yeah.
they all have storylines. But with Hitman Reborn, the main character doesn't necessarily want to be a
Associated?
mafia boss. He doesn't want to
word.
be a boss. Everyone sees him as one. He acts like one. Like, he protects his family. That's what a boss does. He protects the family.
Yeah.
He does it perfectly, but at the end of the day, he just doesn't want to become one because he's a 10th generation boss. 1 to 9, or 1 to 9 are all bad. 1 to 9 do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
And
Like
he says,
like Japanese mafia and that, or
yeah,
Or
more
what's
like
that?
Italian New York
see.
type mafia, bad 1 to 9. Him, like, he's 10, but he's alright. Like, he's calm. That's why the first generation, when he had inherit the will from Primo, he came to the 10th Bangola mafia boss sooner, and it was like, I see you. I'm gonna give you the whole ring.
Bro, this is
Because
sounding mad.
but you
Bro,
represent
sounding deep.
you represent what I'm representing.
Yeah,
whoever the
yeah.
number 2 to 9 did not represent.
Okay.
This anime sounding a bit mad,
Nah,
you
it
know.
does.
'Cause I
It's
haven't
fun,
heard
but
of it.
just like every anime, the first 1 to 5 is dead.
Yeah,
The episodes
of
is
course, of
dead.
course, yeah.
But this one, it was
Except
just
for One
like
Punch Man, though.
the Babel. One Punch Man is funny,
Yeah.
but when is it going to become serious?
You don't need it to,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's
nah, I
One
hear
Punch
you,
Man.
I
But
hear
saying how many episodes is
Hitman Reborn.
Hitman Reborn?
Just over 200. 204
Okay.
Split into seasons or?
Nah,
arcs, you mean? Like,
Yeah,
the,
okay.
they were,
Yeah.
the
Also,
def- the
was it ongoing then?
no, it's not going. No,
So
it
that
was,
means
it
it's
was,
seasons, isn't it?
no, it was 3 arcs,
Okay.
but then it was ongoing. You're right. It was
Okay,
3
yeah.
arcs.
It was weekly, basically, and then
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was weekly. It was
Yeah,
finished.
yeah,
The
yeah.
manga continued. The manga,
Yeah.
the manga had that arc, the last arc, and that was the best arc.
Okay.
I feel you.
So,
Because hold on, sorry to interrupt, but the avocado, the young babies,
yeah,
they finally realized why they got cursed to become that young. They got cursed. They got
Okay.
turned into thingy to babies.
Yeah.
But
But now
you-
you're
no
giving
one-
now
no
you're
one
giving too much away,
Hey,
bro.
listen, I'll be real. I ain't watched it. I feel like you've
It's your
given
own
me
problem.
enough just before you said avocado. Like,
Yeah.
No, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Like,
I could.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
way,
Cool,
like,
so-
I say avocado, but it's like
Yeah.
avocado or something like that.
Nah, hell,
Some
still.
nice Italian way of saying it because they're bosses, they're Italian bosses, isn't it?
So basically, you would recommend to our listeners to check out the anime more or
But
less.
definitely check
And
out Hitman Reborn.
Nah,
Check it.
perfect.
Defo.
Okay. And is it a thing where you can kind of skip, or would you recommend for this specific anime that they should literally start from the beginning and embrace the journey? And do you know what I
I'll
mean?
say do that because obviously the animation isn't that good from 1
To 5.
to 200. Obviously the latest,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
latest one, obviously when you finished. But you can see the same with Naruto, especially One Piece. But One Piece anime, like you got a whole image, and then right at the corner there's white.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. I remember.
So this animation's alright. So I'll definitely recommend it. Absolutely,
Okay. That's
it's
good.
alright. It's good.
That's
It's good anime.
So obviously, Zach, your top 2 anime then is Naruto and Hitman. Cool.
I don't know how One Piece ended up in a mix, innit? But
I
obviously,
said Naruto, Hitman, and One Piece.
but we're talking about 2s, isn't it?
I was just saying, okay, in that case, because Hitman's finished, innit? That's their own fault.
Okay.
That's the
fair.
producer's fault.
So obviously, we know Max's character is most like his Future Trunks.
Future Trunks.
Mine's Uchiha Itachi. So Zach, which anime character would you say you're most like?
Can I
Or
say
your
favorite and most like?
Bro, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Bro. Whatever.
Calm. So I'll say my most like is definitely Rock Lee.
How come?
From not because I'm strong,
Yeah.
but because
Oh, cause yeah,
It's a bit tight there, bro.
Well, I'll do my chest press. Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
Nah, yeah, but I'll say because the hard work, determination, and the swab literally legit. Rock
Yeah,
Lee's
yeah, yeah.
sweat
I feel
blood
that.
into his.
I didn't
his-
feel it much from Rock Lee as opposed to Guy. I felt that more with Guy. If you get what I mean, I felt like Rock Lee was more of I'll copy what my sensei says, as opposed to I really, really want this. I really want to be able to understand what youth means, innit? But he didn't have to go through anything to understand what youth means. Where Guy, it was a bit more like Guy had that whole, this is my youth, this is what I represent, this is the energy that I want to bring.
Yeah, but-
and then it's like Lee's a copycat, bro. No?
No, but well, hold on. But there were times when Rock Lee was in the woods in anime, and they keep showing flashbacks when they're young, and he punched the tree. If I can't punch the tree 700 times, I'll do 1,000
But
push-ups.
from who, bro? From who? From Guy.
Okay, but then Guy copied from his
From
dad.
his dad as well.
God,
Yeah.
how far you wanna go? Let's keep going.
Hey, true.
Yeah,
And then to make it
cycle,
worse,
cycle.
like my Guy's dad,
Yeah, it's exactly the same. in terms of-
Nine gates.
9 gates for what? You see, 9 gates
Whoa,
it gets
whoa,
mad.
whoa,
Right?
wait, where we creating 9?
Sorry.
Bro, it's 8 gates. He's creating gates out of nowhere. Like.
Gate of rebirth.
Nah,
That's
gate for
the
mystery,
gate of
bruv.
rebirth after the death gate. No, but still. But even when you fought the 7 swordsmen,
Yeah.
he came out
Yeah.
8 gates and he killed how many?
I think he killed a lot, most of them.
Only a few survived, didn't it?
Yeah. He defo bodied some. He defo
He's
killed some.
KB's your Naruto guy, innit? How many did he kill, bro? Come on, you're
The
Naruto
exact
guy.
number.
I don't know the exact number.
They don't
man.
disclose
Google it,
that.
bro.
They don't disclose that.
You sure?
Google
But
it, bro.
All you know is
Nah,
he
they do.
dies.
They do.
They disclose it.
That's
Bro,
what's
listen,
the-
number.
tell me
I
the
can't
number
remember
of
the
people.
number.
Tell me
I can't
Rewatch your
remember.
anime, bro. That's
Tell
what
me
I'm
the number,
saying.
bro. All we know is
Actually, no, he's
dies.
right. He's right. He says because remember when
Of course I'm right, bro.
I don't like his confidence.
Bro, nah, but all we know is he bodied some of them, but he ultimately died, and that was the main takeaway in terms of he was basically dying to protect
Yeah.
the squad, the people he was with, so they managed to escape, but ultimately
And they were
he
main
died.
characters when they
Yeah.
were protecting. It was Guy.
Yeah.
It was the guy with the thing in his mouth all the time.
Yeah. So why would you say that it's Rock Lee and not Guy?
Because okay, from the normal Naruto, obviously the
Yeah.
original one, because that's the first one we saw. You saw his hard work
Yeah,
and like how he just
comparison with Neji as well.
it was like I can never meet up to him. And then I remember Guy goes, that doesn't mean nothing. You're right, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
nothing if you don't believe in yourself. And that was just like a reality check.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
yeah.
not gonna have everything. I remember you used to be so fat in school. You remember Kevin?
Slightly, yeah, you're chubs, bro.
Oh, cheers.
But same here, though. I can't lie. I was chubs too.
Yeah, we all had chubby cheeks, man.
Word.
I remember getting.
Word.
That's
Big
why
Mertz was never chubby.
the
You might
Babel.
just know that. You get
Again,
me?
the Babel. Because I remember.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Fat shaming ain't a bad thing. I don't think. Because I got fat shamed. And I was like, yeah, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, okay, no, I'll show you. And then I remember slowly at 10 year, 11.
Yeah, you make the changes.
Yeah, the changes came. Sixth form, I gained it back. No, wait, sixth form I lost it. Uni I gained it back because uni just eating and watching on computer screens. I like
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Netflix.
Nah, I
It's
hear you
mad.
still. Alright, cool. So that's the anime character you most like.
My
And
favourite,
so
wasn't it?
favorite now. Would you it's keeping the same energy? Is that still a favorite, or would you now change?
That's a hard one. It's difficult. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna say one from each of my top 3 animes.
Okay.
I'm gonna start from Hitman Reborn because none of you guys watched that. So I can say anyone,
Bro,
and you'd be like, yeah, he's hard.
You could even make up a Japanese word, and we won't even know what you're saying.
Sushi. I'm joking. But Gokudera, because he's like in that anime, like he's smart. Like he was a mafia kid who
Okay.
came from Italy to be a right hand man of the mafia boss, and he came and he was just smart. He was like the technician of the group, the right hand man, but at the same time he was never serious. So I can almost relate to him in a way.
I
Like,
hear that.
he was always like,
I see that.
yeah. And then from One Piece, I don't know, because Zoro's just a badass. I'd probably just say Zoro.
My guy Zoro.
It's just so bad. Like 5 swords, how you chopped up Pika and like chopped him up.
Yeah.
And then
2 + 2 is 4. Minus 1 is 3. Quick maths. 3 swords, my guy. The 3. Wait, what's it? Santori? The Santori mean?
San something. I know
Wait,
San.
each ni san. So san means 3. So Santori.
Yeah,
3
san.
3 sword style.
Basically.
Inch ni san shayo. We
Yeah.
go.
Don't
Best
forget-
opening ever,
Don't forget Yon and Go
Oh yeah, come on, man.
4-5. But
and then Naruto, it'll probably be, I don't know, just for emotional journey, probably Jiraiya.
Jiraiya, why?
I don't know. It's just he was always a failure, but then he had students who he taught who let him down. I mean, he didn't let him down, but he didn't help his master.
Yeah,
He didn't help his student, and that's one of his regrets. And I remember him dying. He would just say, "No, I don't have a regret. I got you, Naruto," and I look what Naruto is now. So that itself was emotional, especially the way he died in a game.
Yeah.
Should have been the way he died in the anime.
I swear he died in the game differently.
Yeah, then in the game, in anime he got up
Yeah.
and he was like, I can't not have guts because I'm your because Naruto, right? So they just shot him in a missile. Spoiler, sorry. But in the game, he gets up, he creates a Rasengan, but it's a big Rasengan. It's hench. I think you know one about it. It's big.
Or Dama Rasengan.
Like
Giant
give
Rasengan.
up on me giving up,
Yeah.
and like it turned massive, and then he took one of the
Under the
pain out.
This is the game, no?
This is the game. I swear
Yeah,
down. I think
because
it's
anime, you're not
it's
doing
probably
that.
his
You're not
Genesis.
doing that in anime, bro. But yeah.
But he was sick though. He was
Nah,
mad.
so-
He was mad. That's
so
actually
Jiraiya for that
Yeah.
reason because
Yeah.
yeah, man, he was a failure to begin with, but then he kind of turns his life around.
And he wrote a book about his story as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's like an author in a way.
Yeah, he was kind of like an all-father to the new gen. So
Yeah.
after the third Okage, it was Jiraiya was the next kind of.
And he's always
Yeah,
recommended to be
family figure.
Okage. Like he's completed. I read this fact the other day how he completed over maybe 2,000 missions,
Missions,
all
yeah.
different
Oh,
ranks.
word.
Did you hear about that as well?
Yeah,
Like
he's got more than Tsunade and
everyone,
Orochimaru.
everyone. Like he's the
What's his
most.
body count though. Well, he's not catching bodies like Orochimaru.
no, Orochimaru.
Orochimaru-
Yeah, but if you're going over
Drop
2,000
that,
missions,
bro.
like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
catching somebody's.
Yeah, man.
So
Where you think
some
that
guys
higher
take it
body
else.
count? Itachi or Orochimaru?
Come on, Orochimaru, man.
Because he was just evil in a
Orochimaru
way.
was just doing all sorts, man.
His experiments
Deep-
alone.
deep the reanimations he's got, the Edo Tenseis. To even perform that jutsu,
Yeah,
every time he
that's
performs
true.
it, he needs to take a body. So,
Yeah. Oh
And-
yeah. Facts.
and Itachi's actually a pacifist.
But early Itachi was a killer. Like he learned that from Kakashi.
Yeah, he was, but it wouldn't compare to the amount of bodies that Orochimaru got in it.
I heard that.
'Cause
Because even from the wars alone.
Exactly,
As well.
Itachi's
So I
never
guess
been
it
in a
make
war.
more sense to say more bodies Jiraiya or Itachi.
I would say Jiraiya. He's been in a war.
He's been in a war.
Like
Been in
that's
two, no?
he was in the I think it was the third Great Shinobi War where he got the name Sanin. So
Yeah, the three of them. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, just being in a war alone, you're due to catch bodies.
I heard that.
But yeah, no man, Jiraiya was a good
I
pick
feel like
still.
if Itachi was able to get into a war, it'd be Pete. Like
Oh yeah, it would have been.
I think it would have cooked more than Jiraiya, 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Because his intentions was always pure. So
Can you kill someone with genjutsu?
you can paralyze them for life.
Pretty much. Pretty much. As in, it's the genjutsu won't kill you, but the genjutsu will allow you to. So basically, you can have someone standing still, then all you need to do is just juke them with a kunai. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that. So you
So-
can't do like mass genjutsu just to destroy bare people on a war zone.
On a war zone. No, actually, no. Tell it like you can. You can make them stab themselves in a genjutsu. You can make them think that they're stabbing you or the enemy.
yeah.
So you can make their allies look like their enemies, and then
Just
so
like-
genjutsu, you can basically do anything and everything if that makes
Just
sense.
like how he put the Genjutsu in Dedra.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dedra was about to
Almost
blow
blew
himself up.
Yeah.
They was like, yo, and then
Cats!
and Sasori was like, "Be careful what you wish for," or something like that.
No,
And
Sasori
then-
said, "This guy looks like the kid to die young."
Yeah,
That was
and he
it.
was like, "I told you, look at that kid die," and he did die young. He died
Yeah,
19.
But no, that Jiraiya was a good pick, man. But yeah, man. So this week, obviously, another segment of hot takes, anime hot takes, and this week is by Big Mercs.
Yeah, G. My hot take for you today is Death Note. So my question is to you, the audience, is: do you feel like Death Note is the best starter pack for anime? Has it earned its right to be able to say, we've been out for so long, we've dropped you 2 seasons, 2 arcs, and everybody messes with it? Do they own or can they hold the top spot as the beginner anime to watch? What do you guys think?
But what do you think?
I feel like it's almost undisputed that for you to become an anime head, you have to have watched Death Note. But for you to get into anime, you could have only just watched Naruto. And I say that because Death Note, I feel, is the first anime that wakes you up into very, very good, intricate writing. In the sense that with Naruto, I don't believe the writing, early Naruto, is that good. I feel like the writing is more... It's more to entertain the action, the fighting, the discrepancies between two different nations. So you've got they introduced you a little bit to the hidden leaf, and then you had the sound, you had the sand, and there was a bit of tensions all around, and that was your writing. Do you know what I mean? That was your energy. That's all you had to write around. But with Death Note, it's kind of like you've given a mad concept, and you have 2 different mad people who are able to come up with ideologies, ways, mentalities of doing things that are unorthodox. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
different.
we don't
Yeah.
feel when we think we see a bad person, he deserves to die. There's two completely different ends of the spectrum. Do you know what I mean? There's L and there's Kira. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that's why I feel like that's where you become an anime head. You find out that there's a different world of storytelling. There's a different world of narration.
And do you think from Death Note, you think from episode 1? Because like I said earlier on, the first 5 episodes are also dead. Like in most animes, in most episodes,
Okay,
the first
yeah.
5, the first 3,
For your long running anime, yeah.
long running. But like I
Yeah.
said, but then that's why I agree with that almost to an extent, because Death Note episode 1, it was like fire.
Bruv, the concept was fire.
Yeah.
The introductions, I think even the animation was fire. Because
Yeah, it didn't look-
don't,
it
don't
didn't lag, it
forget,
didn't lag.
people that weren't anime heads and only knew about Naruto, Shaman King, I gotta say Pokemon in it, like, but it's mad.
Non-serious anime.
Even Pokemon and
If you're
Digimon in
If
it.
you're playing Pokemon Go, please.
It's like we were exposed to a young graphic of anime.
Yeah.
Even One Piece, a very, very young graphic of
Exactly.
anime. But when we got Death Note, it was like the way that we saw the Shikigami, the way that we
Yeah.
saw L, like even his hair, down to the way that he walks and that. It's like,
The
wow, this
eyes.
is proper Japanese stuff. And this is something that as a non-Japanese person or European or Western world kind of person
Yeah.
sees this, it's kind of like, I didn't know you could draw stuff like that type thing.
Yeah, from your first episode, sorry. If you're going to see him, you're getting shook.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what the F was that? Is that the devil?
when I showed that.
I was like, Shinigami
Yeah,
was
man,
just scary. And then,
Shinigami Ryuk.
yeah, and
Ryuk
then
was
yeah,
scary,
exactly.
man.
And then,
Ren
Oh, yeah.
came scary as well.
exactly. And then suddenly it was like how he was just writing names. Because L didn't come until maybe how many episodes later on? How many?
I think
Episode
2 or 3.
Episode 2. That's the thing with.
So he was
with,
winning at
Yeah.
the start. Everything was just about him.
Yeah.
And you imagine just you in his shoes and you're thinking,
Yeah.
I can do all of this.
And especially you were
No.
introduced how smart Light was as well.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. Light wasn't winning at the start. That was the whole L flip in terms of, if you remember, how it started off was Light was killing people within his own area, so that
Yeah.
allowed L to actually clock. This guy must be from this specific
Oh,
region.
yeah,
But
that's how it started.
That's
that was
not
a
L
flip.
losing though.
It
not L losing.
it was a loss in the sense where he baited out his location.
Yeah.
First.
That's a loss, because it's only a loss because L flipped it into one. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Because obviously he was testing out the book, he was getting his whereabouts, he was still trying to find out how it works. But then you just see how great L was when episode 2. Because my personal favorite episode of the whole of Death Note is episode 2.
Oh,
that's
word.
the thing that got me.
Okay.
And that's when what even happened? So basically, I think L faked himself on the TV saying he was L, and he was
Yeah.
baiting
Yeah.
out Light.
Oh, yes.
Yo, like, come
I
and
think
kill
he
me if
got-
you can,
I
kill me
feel
if you
like he
can.
got
That was a
a
Chicken Maru
criminal.
moment.
He got a criminal to go on TV to pretend to be L.
Yeah, an
Yeah.
inmate.
And then when he realized that you couldn't kill the face, you couldn't kill.
The name.
Basically, he
No.
can't.
Wait, he didn't have to see the face.
He needs a name
Yes.
and a face.
Yes. So where he realized you didn't need a name, that's where he trapped you. No. When he realized you did need a name,
You need a
sorry,
name, you need a
that's
name.
when he trapped you, because
Yeah.
even though you saw the face, they gave you a fake name, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, we caught you, bro. Like, you
Word,
can see
word.
all these faces. If you ain't got the right name, it's tight."
Exactly. So it was like, obviously, just to the point you're saying in terms of it looked like a win for Light to begin with, but it was actually flipped for L. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was just-
L
yeah.
flipped it and made it a loss.
But okay, I can't say realistically because that concept will never happen.
Mm.
But then imagine if the first episode I'm seeing him, I'm thinking, name into a book,
Yeah.
people dying.
Yeah.
How do you think people react to that just generally? Like, I don't feel like we have that type of energy, even if you're not a non-anime head. Where else have you felt that kind of the accessibility of killing somebody?
North Korea.
It's mad. It's mad.
Bro,
No,
do you want them to take down this podcast?
Listen, man's not trying to fat shame in it, yeah.
Listen, nah, but to your point in terms of a starter pack for anime, I feel like the reason why it has such a big impact on a starter pack or get so many people invested is because it's the closest thing to a real world, in a sense where they show you like a normal boy like a normal school kid boy. That's what we all are, all school kids.
Yeah.
And it just shows you, what happens if a notebook just drops out of the sky randomly? Do you know what I mean? So it's like everything's so relatable to us, obviously, except for the whole Shinigami aspect. So it was just, it gave you an insight into a Japanese culture, as well as it kind of put you in that position because your light was really relatable. Like, really and truly, you guys, if a notebook dropped in front of you, what would you actually do? So imagine you guys read it, yeah? You write someone's name down and they will die in 30 seconds. Would you guys use it?
Enemies are dead.
Listen,
Ops gone.
Ops gone.
drillers off road. It's a bit mad. Like, catch that one, bro. You gotta catch it yourself. No, these drillers are down, bro.
Ops are gone.
Nah, it's mad because in that situation, and they highlighted it so perfectly as well. It's like do you deserve or should you have that power to be able to kill somebody?
Because you're judge, jury, and executioner. Like,
Yeah,
even this real life,
man.
like, there's nations.
Yeah.
I don't want to name because it might get peaked. Because I already said North Korea.
The lights might just turn off now.
I like
Podcast over.
FBI. Yeah, there's already nations doing that, and like,
But having the power, having the
that's
power
crazy.
to write someone's name in a book, why do you feel like we were so intrigued as an audience?
Because I think it goes back to what I was saying before in terms of it made it relatable. It made you question yourself.
Yeah.
What would you do in that scenario? If you had a book in front of you, would you actually use it? Do you know what I mean? Would you even test it? And the
Test
thing
it
is,
on your ex,
and the
innit?
thing is, the thing is, would you even clock? Yeah, would you even realize to kill a criminal? Most people would do something stupid. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, you
someone
test it.
they
You
know.
don't believe it, so you would like.
No,
They might test
exactly.
it.
But
Yeah.
the fact that Light tested it on a criminal, do you know what
That
I
was
mean?
sensible in a way.
That was sensible.
That was
Whereas
sensible.
if it was you in that position,
Bro,
I'll
listen,
get shook
the last
through
person
anyone's
that-
name, to be
word,
honest.
The last one that pissed you off, they could be gone, fam. Do you know what
it's
I mean?
mad. It's
So-
mad because I'm actually deep in it now. Yeah, I remember there's a time I was so close to. Remember that little thing on YouTube when people used to put one pencil on top of another, and say Charlie, Charlie or something like that, and then the pencil
Oh
would
yeah,
just
yeah.
move.
That was like an
Listen, I don't know innit. I don't feel like I could have written a name in that book because man can't even do that Charlie, Charlie thing. Like, it's mad.
Nah, hey.
Man can't even say like Beetlejuice 3 times. You know what I mean? Like, you never know, fam.
No,
What's the other one when you got the letters and then you?
Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
Oh, that's the Luigi board, no? Or something?
Yeah, Luigi.
No, this one where you
I
had
don't
like an
know.
orb, and the orb would just start moving.
Ah,
To some-
bro,
no, it's
I
mad.
don't even know.
Put
I'm
on a
child
flat
of
surface,
God,
it will
so
move a lot.
I only know there's only one God that I
But
serve.
I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like we connected again with the Death Note, the book, a lot more because of things that all of this kind of mystery stuff that we are accustomed to in general movies and storytelling. So the whole vampires exist, the whole we're being exposed to dragons, mystical stuff. It's not really that far-fetched to say that there's a realm where there's Shikigami who kill people, or who, if anything, it makes a bit of sense. It's quite very relatable in the sense of there being a devil, there being demons, and them controlling who dies, when dies. Because if you kind of believe in fate in a way, if someone dies, but a Shinigami kills them, that's called fate. So I guess
Japanese culture.
Kira, just generally in it, like I don't know how you guys view fate, but fate is kind of like if something happens, it couldn't have happened any other way. But I feel it did contradict itself
God's
a little
plan.
bit at the end of season 2,
Yeah.
where they made L kill himself.
Season 2, they made L kill himself.
And when I say they,
How-
I mean
how?
Light successors. I think his name was Mello and
Near.
Oh, Mello. What's the other
Near,
one?
near.
Near. Mello and Near. Do you guys remember season? I know season 2 was a bit downhill.
Yeah, it wasn't as good
Everyone
as
fell
season
off.
1. But explain, what do you mean by they made him kill himself?
So it was. I think it came to the last scene where all of the police surrounded Light. Kind of, they trapped him in such a situation where he had to write a name down, and the name that he wrote down, effectively. So they changed the paper inside his watch. Remember that scene where in his watch he had like a spare piece of the Death Note hidden inside the watch, and he tried to write even his dad's name. I think it got that deep. He had to write his dad's name to kill all of the people that are coming for him. and even showed you the extent that he had to kill his dad just to stay Kira. So that type of writing there, I just believe that's what gave Death Note the #1 spot for starter pack anime.
Yeah, I also thought another thing, something to add to that point is the rivalry, because I've clocked, like, I don't know about you guys, but I really like the whole competition between L and Light, because that kind of dragged part 1 in terms of who was actually smarter between the two. Because I remember watching it like A-level times, watching Death Note, thinking, shit, I want to be as smart as these guys, you know. Like, I remember, big man thing, like, I was actually thinking, raw, because the thing is about Light, Light was he was the smartest kid in Japan. Like, was smart school in his school or something like that, but so was L. L was also smart too. Yeah. So it was just nice seeing just a competition,
bro,
like,
L,
between the two. So
L is not as smart as Light. I'm just gonna throw it out there now.
L is not as smart as Light.
Light is the smartest character in the anime.
How about his younger brother? L's younger brother.
No.
Nah, they're not.
Never?
Man.
No.
Nah. But
they're not on Light's level. Light is the smartest.
Wait, in that anime or anime? Be specific.
Nah,
'Cause I was about to drop names.
in Death Note, Light is definitely the smartest guy.
Cool.
Like, I could argue for L, but at the end of the day, Light will still win. And Light will win only because L had the resources to accompany his intelligence, where Light didn't. Light had a book, had a notebook.
And had
Do you know what
ideas
I mean?
and strategies.
This guy had FBI, he had funds, he had access to all the TV
He had
networks.
lights on dad.
Everything. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He had all of the resources. It's basically like giving Naruto the Nine Tails. He got the Nine Tails. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't need chakra, bro.
That's an interesting argument, because I'll disagree, you know. Not in terms of, not the point where you're making Light is smarter than L, but in terms of resources. I'd rather have the supernatural on my side as opposed to having the whole FBI and the government, etc. Simply because, like, again, I'm not arguing that L is smarter than Light. I think Light is smarter, but I feel like Light had the upper hand because Light knew all sides. He knew the enemy, he knew the allies. Whereas L didn't know. L even had to suspect his own police officers. Remember, he had to put them through screening because he's paro in terms of he can't trust anyone. So I feel like from the beginning,
but what you're forgetting, is the same energy that Light was in the same situation. Light didn't know who L was. They basically found out who each other was at the same time. Where it was a thing where L had to be at least 70% sure, or even something like 70 or 60% sure that he feels like Light is Kira. But given that Light didn't expose himself to anybody except for Light's dad, L didn't expose himself to anyone except for Light's dad early on. So it was kind of an even playing field in the sense that, like, Light didn't have the advantage of knowing who L was.
Yeah, Light's dad definitely came into it.
When you talk about that aspect in terms of knowing each other, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Because
No,
that plays a massive impact.
No, it played a massive impact, but you kind of knew that Light, Light, and I'm deep in it now, Light had advantage because Light knew who L was, but then it was down to L to basically bait out and expose that he's actually Kira.
At a certain point in the anime, bro.
No, it's from the jump.
Nah, not from the jump. Because from the jump, you knew why it was so important for L to hide his identity. Because if L didn't hide his identity, he didn't know who Kira was, Light would have killed him time ago. So it was a competition to see. It was literally a competition for Light to get L's name. That's what I mean. So, do you know what I mean? It's Light needs to get L's name. L needs to find out that Light is really Kira.
So who do you think has the advantage in that?
In advantage, definitely Light has the advantage. Light has the all you need to, because all he had to do was get Misa to see L. But you know how hard that was. Even to a point where Misa even did see L, and it took a whole season, a whole arc for you to realize that I'm gonna get L's name now, type thing. And it's a thing where even L played these cards in that sense. But I say Light is smarter in the sense that if he didn't play his cards the way he did, like, he's so smart, it's mad. Light is so smart, he could forget everything about the notebook, patting himself because he knows how smart he is. He knows how smart he is, so he can pattern himself to get the book back to kill L. How smart do you need to be to forget something, to pattern yourself to remember it,
Yeah.
to accomplish your goal?
Yeah.
Come on,
But then-
bro.
But then, with that being said, that goes into the point of he has the advantage to do that because
How's forgetting an advantage?
No, because
Forgetting.
the reason he has an advantage, yeah, is because he knows all sides. Like he knows that's my enemy, whereas L, he can't confirm that Light's his enemy. Do you see the difference? One side knows
Yeah.
that's L. The other side's thinking this is maybe Kira. Especially how now L had to get a second Kira to throw more confusion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's literally one knowing this is my enemy versus one looking at it as from a point of view as this might be my enemy. Do you get what I mean? So even in that, you have an advantage.
Nah.
Nah, deep it.
Nah.
Actually, deep it.
Are you saying when you're paranoid?
What I'm trying to say is one side
Yeah, definitely
knew
paranoid.
that's my enemy.
Yeah.
Another side had to kind of reveal and had to kind of do the work to expose that that's his enemy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only difference.
Listen, you viewers, yeah, let us know at AniMates.
Word, let
We
us
don't,
know.
we don't
feel-
expose anymore because this is like
Nah,
You
it's
can't
deep, it's
expose
deep,
it.
it's deep, it's deep.
Yeah,
At
it's
the end
mad.
of the day,
You're
though,
giving
Light-
everything, bro.
I'll say Light is definitely smarter between the two, but he definitely had the advantage to start off with 100% because he knew all sides. In terms of we're looking at things from his perspective. Do you know what I mean? He's the main character.
Bro, it's kind of like you can't take away from Light putting himself in a position where he learns about all sides. Do you know what I mean? It's someone smart would put themselves in a position to get more intel. Someone who's not as smart won't put themselves in a position to get more intel. I'm saying maybe if L was as smart as Light, he'd put himself in a position where he could have more of a percentage of knowing that Light is Kira. But, you know what I mean? It weren't smart enough to do that and it cost him his life. L, he was smart enough to lose his memory, to put himself in a better position to know who L is, and then at the end of the arc, kill him. So
True. I definitely agree with that. But then the one thing that everyone forgets is not only did Light have one death note, he had a second.
which played perfectly into L's argument, which you're forgetting, bro. That played perfectly in terms of L because he was able to understand. First of all, he was able to get the book,
Yeah.
understand exactly how the book works,
Yeah.
how Kira Light operates, and use that intel to potentially trap Light. Did he still win?
No, that goes to L's point in terms of imagine, yeah, it starts off with L having both books, but then L's that good where he's able to actually get one of the books, understand how
he
it
didn't have
works.
2 books, bro.
Bro, Light
He had to find the person with the second book.
Exactly.
So why didn't L take the initiative
to find the person.
to find the person to
Do you
find
know why?
Misa before?
Because that's what I mean in terms of
Actually,
the
I know
reason
why, I know
why.
why.
'Cause
Misa looks for Light.
Light
sorry.
knows
Yeah.
how the book works, so it's easier for him to find. Remember,
No.
remember-
Misa
looked-
reached out to Light.
Yes, but
Yeah.
then remember, Light made it possible because he knows how she can do it because she's got the book.
Yeah.
He knows how it all works, so he can make it easier for her to find him. Whereas L's in the dark with all of this,
But deep.
so he's in a disadvantage.
I,
Do you see what I'm saying?
Listen, I could argue this as well,
Say
you
it,
know,
bro, say it,
because
bro.
listen, there's bare evidence that L got from Misa
Yeah,
because of Light's mistakes, but Light was able to twang it to make it work for Light. So it was the whole DNA with
Yeah.
them coming from the videotapes that were sent to certain people or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is stuff that L has access to. This is stuff that only L, with the custody of the FBI, Japanese Interpol, all of them gaff there, that he's able to do this. But definitely,
Yeah.
guys that listen to the podcast,
So what's your thoughts
Let
on
us
this
know.
before we move on? Do you remember the anime? Because
I remember right. I remember key points to it. Like
Yeah.
the topic the area you was discussing,
Yeah.
it was a bit faded. But
Yeah.
I don't want to. And the key points I know are the key points that's the biggest moments in that anime. So I don't want to say anything that will expose it and just ruin it for everyone else.
these
You
anime
guys
heads
definitely
have
watch
watched
it. I'm excited, man.
yeah, no, it's good.
I'm excited for your excitement.
Yeah, no, it's true. It definitely got
man.
me in terms of
Yeah.
being number one. In terms of starter pack, I'll definitely put it up there. I put it up there with Attack on Titan, which is Netflix has done brilliantly. I could only but praise Netflix for putting One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, and Seven Deadly Sins as well,
Wow.
and Death Note all on Netflix. That was a big move.
Yeah.
That was
That was a
literally
surprise.
that's your starter pack.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's all you need.
Definitely. I feel like after Death Note, you can literally go anywhere. You can go from Death Note to. I've seen people go from Death Note to Bleach, Death Note to Naruto, Death Note to.
From Death Note to the big three. Like
Definitely.
I feel like
Definitely. I've seen people do
You
it.
do need to watch
You
one
can,
big
you can.
three to be an anime head. That's
Yeah,
one requirement.
You need to. In terms, not. You don't need to. You don't need it to become an anime head, but it's like
Bro,
once
big
you.
three.
But it's like the big three of the past. Do you know what I mean? It's not the big three now.
Oh, nah, that's
now,
true.
Because whereas now, Death Note I feel like still holds its position in terms of a gateway anime.
Yeah.
However, I don't feel like Naruto anymore because it's finished. Maybe One Piece and Bleach as well is finished, so they don't hold the weight they used to, as opposed to something like Tokyo Ghoul, Boku no Hero. So that argument could be made where if you're watching those now,
Yeah.
you're an anime head. Do you know what I mean?
So what? In
So-
2018, what animes would you recommend to someone in secondary school that is thinking about getting an anime? Thinking about getting into anime. They have all their friends talking about Naruto. Have all their friends talking about Bleach. Or did you see new episode of One Piece? They want to be part of the conversation, but they feel like it's too late. What anime would you recommend for them to jump on the anime bandwagon?
Well, One Piece is ongoing.
Yeah.
I said, watch all the animes that are definitely ongoing. So like,
to start with.
well, not to start with, you can just watch like Death Note.
No, yeah, perfect.
Absolutely.
That was the best one. To be
But if you want to go to, because remember us going to school, we were lucky
Yeah.
enough
That was
to have.
early
We're from a
enough.
golden generation.
we had an era, man.
Yeah,
So
we're
we're
getting
that golden
old.
hip hop
It's
generation.
not the same now. It's not the same now.
Like all our three big ones, the big ones everyone like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie, like now to One Piece.
We lived through the big three, you know. That's mad, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's mad.
Now
We
to
lived in
One
the
Piece.
boom of the big
Yeah.
And
three.
Bleach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely, but luckily for them, they still have, like you said, whatever you said.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Right now it would be Boku no Hero, Tokyo Ghoul, Attack on Titans.
Tell
there.
him.
Nah.
Attack on Titan's
pissed
there.
me off with their 2-year break, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
so they actually had. So they're not doing no One Piece 2-year break. They literally give a 2-year break.
Damn, real
Yeah,
fam.
man.
No wonder I stopped watching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anime's changed
I forgot
now,
about
man.
a 2-year break.
Yeah.
Anime's changed, bro. They don't do the whole weekly month.
That's what
Chum,
these
why
man
they-
Geki,
Every-
yeah, I swear, it's kind of like, it's the difference between Yonko and West Generation, bruv. These new man Gekis, I don't feel like they're doing big boy pirate king whitebeard stuff.
Because what they're doing is like, I'll say this lastly to go on to the next topic. It's like they're trying to do like a Walking Dead thing, was every 6 months.
Yeah.
They do that. A Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Even try to make it 2 years.
2
That's
years.
longer than an Avenger film, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Infinity
that's
War's
long,
next
it's
year.
long.
No, let that sink in.
Yeah.
Infinity War 2.
Yeah.
Infinity War was one bang, by the way.
I'm
But
psyched.
number 2 is next year.
Yeah. So.
And Attack on Titan is in 2 years.
It's
Alright,
true.
cool. So obviously wrapping up that topic, that hot take. Sorry. Now it's time to move on to the main topic of the episode, which is what you guys think is the biggest moments in anime. So that can be whichever anime you're watching, or if you have a specific moment in a specific anime that you feel like overshadows every other anime. Obviously, it's down to your opinion, down to your perspective. So, Zach, let's start with you. What's your biggest moment in anime?
Damn,
Don't tell me it's gonna be Naruto, because if it could be Naruto, I might as well start.
I can't lie. I'll completely understand if it was.
It's gonna have to be. But no, I'll say
Yeah.
biggest moments. I'll say probably at One Piece when
Ooh.
Ace died. Another spoiler. I'm so sorry, but
Nah,
listen,
bro, fuck
at
the
One
spoiler,
Piece.
man.
But then again, I ain't gonna lie. One Piece is ongoing, so I apologize. But then again, on One Piece is like the episode where he did perish was like 400 episodes in.
Yeah.
Right now is how many episodes? Like 800, 900?
902 on the manga. Episodes 840.
Yeah, that much. He was
So, but,
that dedicated. That knowing exact numbers, bro.
Now, but explain what you mean. What do you mean by Ace's death? What about
Because
it? What's such
okay,
a big
with One
moment?
Piece, this is we all know about how One Piece where no one fully dies.
Yeah.
No one dies.
Yeah.
No one. So
Not
when
getting reanimated. That's what I'm telling you. Like.
so when So when Ace, bless, trust me, absolutely. So when Ace and Whitebeard,
Yeah, that was big.
that was heartfelt.
Yeah,
It was sad because these are two big names
big name
from the big crew, same
Yeah.
crew. It's almost like Zoro and Luffy dying from the Straw Hat Pirates.
Yeah. So Ace, what would the equivalents on Naruto be for Ace? Would that be like Kakashi? Would that be like Guy?
Well,
I think that'd be
who actually did go?
So
from
like
Naruto.
Whitebeard, I could almost say Jiraiya, but even
Yeah,
Jiraiya's not.
No.
What?
Whitebeard would be like the third Hokage.
No.
Ooh, okay,
No,
both
would be.
because they're
He's
both.
not-
They're both
Shredder
older.
Kage's been there for too long.
Yeah, you're right.
Same with Jiraiya. As in Whitebeard, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really see Whitebeard until the war anyway. So,
But that's what I mean in terms of the third. We've seen the third throughout
yeah.
the whole of the opening of Naruto.
So how can it be equal then? So we've seen
No,
one
that's what I'm saying.
briefly.
It's not equal to the third.
No, in terms of what I'm trying to say is it's more equal to the third than Jiraiya because of the symbolism, the end of an era, end of a generation. As opposed to Jiraiya was like Jiraiya dying would be like Rayleigh dying. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Whereas Whitebeard would be like the third Hokage, the old man that was the god of shinobi, god of his era. Now he's gone.
Yeah, but
Whitebeard.
But sorry to interrupt, but
Third
the
was not-
Whitebeard was definitely like an error.
Yeah, same with the third.
100%. Third one an error, bro. He was.
Jiraiya
it was,
definitely
it
The
was.
an error.
Minato was. Do you know what I mean? Like he should have finished with Minato. He should have been
Yeah.
an old guy. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we could have been happy him dead, and then Minato coming on, and then after Minato, the Sanin, Tsunade, or Jiraiya, and then sorry, so Jiraiya would have been before Minato. But it's kind of like he's had his time because fourth Hokage died. He had to come back, and him having to come back doesn't make him as big as Whitebeard, in my opinion.
No, it's like it's a thing where they're both not supposed to be here now. That's the energy. Like you've had your time
Nah.
and you're still here.
we didn't get that energy from Marineford.
No, in terms of no, we did. Like Whitebeard's era was gold devoted. Like this isn't his era no more. Hence why he had to go.
I heard that.
I'm only linking
No,
that in the
that's
sense.
true. No,
I'm only
that's
linking
true.
that in the sense where the third, his time is done, so therefore it makes sense for him to go.
I heard that.
Whitebeard, your time is done.
I
Do
heard
you know
that. So
what I
what in terms of Marineford and that being your biggest moment, what about it really got you?
For Marineford, there was a moment where he uses the haki,
Conqueror's
Conqueror's haki.
Luffy.
Yeah. I mean, he
That
used it
scene.
before, didn't he?
Nah, first time
That
we
was
seen
the
it, fam.
First time.
First time we see
Yeah.
Luffy.
I don't know why I didn't get that much surprised by that.
So
I don't know
when-
why, but then the way he used it, he was like
that
he didn't
was
even know
mad.
he used it.
It was like just to set the scene for guys that have watched it, haven't watched it. You're gonna get spoiled. It's Ace is on the platform, about to get executed by the two guards. Luffy's doing madness. He's running through the likes of Shishibukai, like Mihawk. He's running through vice admirals, running through admirals. He's getting close to Ace. The swords are about to come down on Ace's head. Bruv, you just see Luffy literally at the pinnacle of being able to save his brother, and boom,
And we thought he was gonna do it.
we
I'm
thought
not gonna lie.
They
thought
did
Ace
do
was
it.
gonna
They did
die.
do it. They did
Luffy
do it.
just came out like
But
boom.
If he died,
Conquerors.
there's no way he did. I mean, he did save him
Bro, They complete the mission, but then
halfway to the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a peak.
But
No, really good, really big scene. I think
yeah.
it's one of the biggest scenes in One Piece, and
Yeah.
obviously One Piece is big three, so
Definitely.
whole of anime.
Another big three, Bleach.
Oh, bruv. Ichigo versus Aizen. Oh, that fight. That fight, I think is one of the best fights I've ever seen. It is one of the best fights I've ever seen because this is the first time we see character build up from beginning to end
Yeah.
go beyond what we expected to the point where it's cost you all your abilities. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like we've seen an anime where the main character has given up all of his abilities just to beat one challenge.
Yeah,
Can't think of
yeah,
any
yeah.
other anime that's done that. Except for Hunter x Hunter when Gon did it. But I feel like that was taken maybe from Bleach, in a sense that Yeah.
Wait, wasn't Hunter x Hunter before Bleach?
Hunter x Hunter was before Bleach, bro.
That you're talking about 2011. You're talking about 20. But you said when I'm gonna date you back to the other podcast.
Yeah.
You said
Get your receipts.
yeah, there's some receipts, bro.
Yeah. What did I say?
There was 2 Hunter x Hunters. First one came out 1996 or something like that.
1999.
1999.
2011.
And when did Bleach come out?
I don't know.
So what
But
what makes you say that Hunter came out before Bleach?
Because you're forgetting the manga.
Yeah, but I'm saying the manga didn't make it that far.
It did.
You sure?
Yeah, the manga got past the Chimera Ant arc. But
Before Bleach?
Yes. But the thing is,
How
but,
sure are
but
you, bro?
1999 stopped at a certain point. 1999 stopped at the Chimera Ant arc. Bro, I know my anime, bro. Hunter x Hunter is the godfather of anime. It was supposed to be up there, but it took so many hiatus that's why it was on the back burner. Hunter x Hunter should be up there with the likes of Dragon Ball Z.
So you're telling me that the Gon versus P2 arc, where Gon rages,
Yeah.
comes out before.
Yes, but the 1999 version didn't get up to that. It stopped.
So the manga version of Gon.
But the manga continued. But then 2011 came back and did that part plus more, which was the Zodiac arc.
Yeah. I'd still disagree, bro.
But
No,
it's
there's no
facts.
receipts. There's no receipts. It's facts. There's no receipts, bro.
No, I hear that. But so that's your biggest moment
That's
in Bleach.
in
Anyway.
Bleach, yeah, definitely.
Okay,
in Bleach.
cool. What about okay? So you said One Piece. So you said Bleach. So only makes sense. Wait, alright. So going back, do you agree with the Ace? Would you say that's your biggest moment?
Yeah, no,
Yeah?
I wouldn't say it's my biggest moment. I feel
Yeah, I
like
had other big moments, but that was the one that was
The
the
biggest
heartfelt,
moment-
like, emotional one. Emotional ones.
Okay, so would you agree that's the most emotional?
the biggest in anime, I don't think, is from One Piece. I feel like the biggest in anime is from Dragon Ball Z.
Alright, cool.
That
So,
I feel like Dragon Ball Z generally as an anime has one of the biggest impacts in anime. Period.
yeah.
But then Gohan versus Cell, Team Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, that is the biggest for me. Rage, outburst, young kid turned bad, do you know what I mean? Ready to body niggas type moment that we've seen in the whole of anime would have been Gohan Super Saiyan 2. Hands down, one of the biggest moments I've ever seen in anime.
Fair enough. Okay, so we've had Bleach, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. Biggest moment in anime. Okay, so when I say big moment, yeah, like things that have actually come into this real world are so things like Dragon Ball Z. So for example, you know the quote over 9,000.
Yeah.
That's something, yeah, that is huge.
Classic.
That's something that's actually impacted the real world. Do you know what I mean? It's something that actually transcends anime because people actually use that quote. Do you know what I mean? Like it's over 9,000. So I'd say that's a big thing. But in terms of heartfelt moment, like what was the most heartfelt moment I felt? Oh, there was this. I don't know if you guys have seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I've seen a bit of it. I haven't finished it.
Honestly, there's a scene in there, yeah, where like, bro, your tears, you'll be fighting them, bro.
Word.
Because they'll just start running down your face. So basically, it's Alphonse Elric and obviously his brother. Basically, one of them. Okay, the older one, Edward Elric, he's basically got a younger brother, Alphonse, and he's lost his body.
Yeah.
So basically, they go on a journey to more or less recover Alphonse's body. But his body is like in some world, some alchemist world. So, and he's been like that for years. So they haven't seen his body in time. So it gets to a point, obviously I'm skipping bed, but it gets to a point where Edward goes to the world and he can actually see his brother's body. And he's just like some little tiny boy sitting in a corner and he's bare skinny.
Oh,
And
word.
the reason why he's so skinny is because basically Edward has to eat for the both of them to feed that little boy. Like, bro, it's messed up, man, but it's so deep. Like, because obviously because I've got a brother in it, so it's a thing where I relate to it so much. We're thinking, oh, raw, like,
word.
and that's the thing with anime. When they touch upon things that are relatable to you, it kind of transcends the anime and comes back into the real world. So, like. I don't know how many listeners have actually seen that moment I'm talking about, but it's a very big and it's a very heartfelt moment.
Full Metal Alchemist. That's on Netflix, isn't it?
I'm not too sure.
I think
It
I've
might
seen it on
might
Netflix.
have touched Netflix actually.
I think
Yeah,
I've
might
seen
have
it,
touched
man.
it.
It's like it's one of them big ones where.
I think it's Fairy Tale you're thinking about that touched Netflix.
No, I think like because I know the difference.
Oh
between
yeah,
Fairy
Full
Tail-
Metal as well.
I like it.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, because even Fairy Tale was a bit. It feels like one of them. It's just, they never transcended the top
Yeah.
three,
Yeah.
top four, like
Fairy
Champions League
Tale-
spots. It never gets there.
Yeah.
It's like Tottenham. I mean, they do get it, but they don't do nothing.
You know Arsenal.
Arsenal,
Nah,
yeah.
'cause-
No, but they hit there, but they don't do nothing in it. They lose
Yeah,
to
no,
Barcelona in the first round.
Word.
But anyway,
So,
Yeah,
so
man.
what, like, so, okay, so for example, Death Note, we were speaking of Death Note earlier. What do you guys think is the biggest moment within Death Note? The most defining, most memorable. When you say Death Note, when you hear Death Note, what springs into your mind?
but be careful again because we did say there's a star anime, so we're gonna have to
True,
tread
true.
carefully when we. I mean,
True.
in that case, we can't mention the big one.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. But
So-
I'm in a place where it's like, nah,
Listen.
let's not.
Watch the anime comeback.
Yeah,
Simple.
you definitely
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
it. I believe you enjoy it.
But in terms of
And it's not that long. It's only like 50 episodes.
Yeah, it's
38.
not long at all.
But yeah, exactly.
Two
So
episodes.
that's a week.
20
feel
minutes
like-
each.
The
That's a week.
thing that I remember most about Death Note is the scene where they're in a helicopter, where Light is in a helicopter, and there's been a mad crash, and it's the moment where he's gonna get his powers back by touching the book,
Yeah.
and it was like the climax of. I purposely planned like everything that's happened from let's say episode 16 to 24 or whatever. I've planned it. Do you know what I mean? It's gone exactly how I want it to go, and these are the results. And it's like you have to be in awe at that you have a character that's able to outthink the smartest thinker in the room. Do you know what I mean? So for me, that's kind of the most memorable and entertaining moment in Death Note.
Zach, do you remember which moment like screams out to you the most?
I do. That's when. Well, did we mention earlier on how Light's dad,
What about him? Explain.
how like he was sacrificed just to prove he wasn't
Yeah.
Kira,
yeah,
no?
yeah, I remember that.
So like even like that itself, I mean, I don't know if that's a win or an L, because to me that sounds like an L. Depends
Yeah,
how much he
that-
liked his dad. I mean, probably obviously he did like him that much.
Yeah,
But still,
that was mad.
yeah, but it was, that itself was helpful because he didn't want to get clocked.
Yeah,
He didn't want to get exposed.
went to the extent of trying to prove to everyone that he wasn't Kira so bad that he was willing to sacrifice his own dad.
But in the extent, I know he's the smartest person in that anime. But
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure there's other ways he could have dealt with that. In that moment, we're agreeing with him because he's the smartest. We're gonna agree with him.
Yeah.
Like whatever Shikamaru says, we're gonna agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can I? It's a great segue. We said heartfelt moments in anime.
Yeah.
I'll probably say in Naruto. There's bears in Naruto. There's a lot in Naruto.
Yeah.
Alright, there's a lot. Yeah.
But it's gonna have to be probably for me Shikamaru and Asuma.
Yeah, explain that one.
Like,
Okay.
because I don't know. They first of all they went in there with a weak squad,
Yeah.
low expectation, no high expectations for them.
Yeah.
But we knew how it was going down. It was low. we knew. we knew.
just some fodder Shinobi fam.
Trust me, fam. No, it's fun. They could have had at least a guy Kakashi there. like-
Yeah, word.
They could have had at least a Jonin. I mean, Asuma's a Jonin, but then he had Shikamaru, who was also
Yeah.
a Jonin at that point, right?
Yeah.
He was Jonin, right?
Yeah, he got
Yeah,
promoted.
definitely a Jonin.
Yeah, and then he had them two.
One of them's Kotetsu. I can't remember the other guy's
Kotetsu
name. just
but
irrelevant.
their combo was alright. Their combo was sick. But
Look,
then, no, the combo was alright. It was it was entertaining to watch, but because Kakazu was just
too much.
immortal
Word.
for how many years, you know?
Yeah.
He fought the second Hokage.
First.
First, wasn't second. Listen, you're the baby right now. Okay, nah, cool. It was first. But then, even that, then everyone just got shook. And that happened later down the road when Ino got shook.
Yeah.
But then, so then how he died, it was like Shikamaru was helpless.
Yeah.
After all these just IQ, you know, all these ideas, all these strategies, his own hand sign that he made up, that didn't work.
That shit didn't work.
But why do you think? Why do you think Asima's death got to you so much?
Because he had faith in Shikamaru. Like he said, nah, this is my right hand man. Like in a way, he didn't say it, but it was like I'm like he's the king and I was the knight.
Yeah.
So among like just like the board game.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, he related to that related to that situation.
Yeah, that was powerful.
It rebounded. It just reflected the whole lifestyle.
And I think as well that was what Shikamaru was struggling to understand as well, because he always thought the king was yourself.
Or the Hokage.
Yeah, he always thought the king was the Hokage.
Yeah. You said you know better, yeah.
Pretty much. But then when actually found out the king was what, the next generation?
Yeah, the babies. The
kids,
next generation. The Borutos of today.
Yeah. And that was such a powerful learning moment. It was a powerful lesson in terms of you, like when you depart, when you leave this world or when you leave this earth, it's what you leave behind for everyone else to remember you for, what you kind of...
Your life insurance.
And that's why I think that goes back to what you said in terms of Jiraiya. Like Jiraiya saw himself as a failure growing up. However, it was the theme of, although it was a failure, he still, like, was it the will of fire?
The will of fire was there.
The will of fire into the next generation.
And then Shikamaru had that will of fire from Asuma. Because Asuma learned it from the third Hokage. And the third Hokage was almost like the end of the era. But it was like, third Hokage was like that guy. Like he was... I wouldn't say he was the best Hokage, but obviously the stronger Hokages. But when it comes to the love or the heart of the village, he did some mad things with Itachi, and like how he made him wipe out his whole clan. But other than that, the will of fire is definitely like, if it wasn't for if you could argue if it wasn't for third Hokage, there would be no like energy of the Leaf Village as there is now.
Definitely, that was a good take still, because that relates so much. But yeah, Dams, did you want to like any heartfelt moments?
Heartfelt moments for me.
Just to wrap up.
To wrap things up, I'd say it'd be in. I should have come a bit more prepared. Like obviously, my base instinct is to go to One Piece, innit? Yeah. The Luffy ace has been spoken about.
Yeah.
One hidden gem in One Piece is Mr. Free. Impelled down. This guy almost had me in tears, bruv.
What?
This guy, I want to say Mr. Free, yeah, because Mr. Free's not the wax guy. Mr. Free's the guy that could change his face. Do you remember the Bon McClure or Bon Claire or whatever? His name was Bon Claire, yeah. He was part of Crocodile's crew or whatever, and he could change his face in that.
Yeah. I remember now.
Listen,
He was that much of a useless guy.
Bro, this one thing I love about Oda is that we used to hate him back in the Alabasta arc when we first met him.
What?
It was a prick. Yeah. Alabasta arc, he was a waste man.
Yeah.
They defeated him. Cool. He got caught with the rest of Crocodile's crew. Went to Impel Down. We see him in Impel Down now. The way that he's helping Luffy find Ace, it's mad. It's like, this Donnie's literally giving his life up to help Luffy find Ace. Even to the point, another heartfelt point where Luffy has the fight with Moria. Not Moria, sorry. With the poison guy, the warden of the Impel Down. Yeah. The name's not coming to me right now, but the warden, he had a fight with him. Magellan. He had a fight with him. He had poison all up in his system and that. They needed to get him to get him to is it Vivi-chan? Second revolutionary? Second command of the revolutionaries.
That's Sabo.
He's first.
Second in command.
He's the third.
Dragon's first, Sabo's second.
Sanjay's mentor when you were in the two year.
No, the one that Sanjay was training with. No, my name's you guys on the podcast, innit? Excuse me, my names are quite bad, but I do love One Piece, innit? It begins with a V, fam.
Bro, I don't know.
Alright, cool. Do you know if you guys watch One Piece, innit, you should know the woman that Sanjay was training with.
It was actually a
for
guy.
the 2 years. Anyway, innit, conspiracies and that. Conspiracies and that. I feel like
isn't her name like Draconov or something?
Anyway, her innit. They had to get Ivankov. This is why I like KB. You man, that are following AniMates innit. Yeah, This is KB. He's the guy.
The
innit?
archive of names.
Hey, cool. So
Bro,
they're trying to
one
get
watch.
Luffy there.
Yeah.
Luffy is not conked out on that, and this Bond guy, is getting bitten up by bear wolves and that. Dragging him through this. I know that's the second time that Luffy uses Conqueror's. No, that's the first time Luffy uses Conqueror's Haikiri. I thought the first time that is the second time he uses it. First time he uses Conqueror's Haki is when he is with. Kevin's gonna give me this name. He's on the island of all females. The Shishibukai goes by the name of.
Oh, that's an easy one, bro. Come on, G.
Yeah, it's a very
Bro,
easy
are you a
one.
One Piece fan?
Don't piss me off, bro.
Bro, what's going on?
Listen,
It's foreign names, man. It's foreign names, man.
Bro, just give me the name, my guy. Like, anyway, her, innit, yeah?
Boa
Googles.
Hancock.
Boa fucking Hancock, yeah? Yeah, when Luffy goes there, and I guess they're gonna kill one of the females that helps Luffy out, uses Conqueror's there. Second time he uses it is Impelled Down, and the third time I believe he uses it is Marine Ford.
I
to
knew
save
it wasn't
Ace.
the only time. I knew
Yeah,
it wasn't the
I
first
know,
time. He
I
seemed a
know.
bit too.
Yeah,
That's
he
why I wasn't
used it
surprised for some
twice.
reason.
Yeah. So yeah, that Impelled Down arc where Bonchan literally gave his life even to the very end, where he stayed behind to close the lever to the gate, so Luffy, Crocodile, Ivankov could all get away to Marine Ford. Like, that's mad. That's basically death. You know what I mean? He stayed back to die for all of those guys. And the way that One Piece do all of the tearing up, bruv, it was mad emotional, fam. Because when I was watching it, I was like, rah, this is someone that Oda made us hate 300 episodes prior. And now, like, we're feeling bare sorry for this character.
Switched it.
So, I thought that switch up
Hill
was
turn.
amazing.
Yeah, man. No, that was a good take still.
Try at me about my One Piece knowledge, bro. Like, I swear,
Bro,
if
the
you
name-
say
nah,
one,
it's
if you say
the
one
name.
thing wrong on Naruto, yeah, whoa,
I'm catching it,
No,
bro.
no, listen.
it is gonna be tight.
Nah, man. But nah, it's just today, fam. That's all. You just had a bad day. That's all. That's all it is, man. You're normally on point. But yeah, man. Zach, is there anything else that you wanna touch upon about heartfelt moments that screams out to you that you wanna say, plug out, or?
I would say watch. There's definitely heartfelt moments in Hitman Reborn.
Oh,
Cause that's one of my animes that I just like. I just love enjoying. You know, it never reached its full potential. You know,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
There's-
definitely
there's-
gonna jump on that.
it's definitely arcs that you would never see because the developer was just lazy. I guess there was big demand for it. Even it was
Is it
like,
still ongoing?
Yeah.
nah, it's done. Like
Oh, I
200
heard that.
episodes in, and maybe another arc of maybe like 10
Okay.
chapters.
Manga done as well.
Yeah, manga's done.
I heard that.
There was another arc after anime. That arc was the best. Like I said, enjoy it. You find there's some funny clips. There's some heartfelt. There's like I said, earlier generations who
Yeah.
just come and like they're in the wheels, isn't it? They're not there physically. It's just the wheel of the ring because the ring's a Mafia thing in it. So yeah, I'm not gonna supposed to dump that too much of it. So just go and watch it.
Definitely.
It's
Perfect.
actually
I'm definitely
fun.
gonna go
It's
do
like
that.
it's nice to watch.
Perfect. So, on that note, that wraps up an episode of AniMates.
Yes, man. Like Zach,
Yeah,
thanks
man.
for coming
Zach.
on, bro.
I'll be here again. Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
100%, man.
Bro,
It's good
you'll
having
be
you
here,
on,
and
man.
I would have
Fam, you-
actually watched the anime. And I
Yeah,
would
you
have
knew
said,
what you got yourself into. I'm here for life.
Hey,
The
love that,
Hitman
love that.
Reborn guy.
Fam, him
You heard it first here on
Word,
AniMates.
man. But yeah, guys, if you listen to this episode and you liked what you heard, you liked the discussion, you liked the debate, you liked the topics, then you know where we are next week to tune in. And obviously, if you like what you're hearing, then come join the journey. Be an animate.
Yep, come join us. If
Cheers,
you don't
guys.
like us, you're a baka.
Baka yaro, kana yaro.
back at.
Please follow our socials. Our Twitter account is @animates_. The Instagram account is animates TV. And if you just go to those pages, it'll direct you to the Facebook page, the SoundCloud, the Spotify, and the iTunes. So whichever platform is convenient for you, just go straight there and listen to it. And also, if I could just ask you for one more favor, if you could just go over to iTunes and just rate the podcast. It takes literally only 30 seconds, but what it does, it helps get the podcast in front of more anime people who are anime heads like yourselves to increase anime discussions and grow the community. Thanks in advance for doing that. Tune in next time.